If you always do what you always done, you always get what you always got. There's no way around that. If you want 2025 to be completely different, you need to start doing things differently. In fact, you need to show up differently. And how will you do that? Well, in this 3-part series, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Hello and welcome to the Heartstart 2025 3-part video series. I'm Gabriel Gonsalves, and in this first video, we're going to be focusing on the magic of reflection and how you can use it as a doorway to profound transformation and unparalleled success in this new year. Now, to get the most from this process, be sure to download my free Heartstart guide at heartstart.me. It's designed to work seamlessly with this video series and will empower you to make 2025 your most incredible year yet. Got the guide? Make yourself comfortable, grab a cup of coffee, tea, glass of wine, your favorite drink, and let's dive right in. We'll begin at the beginning. You went to heartstart.me. You enter your first name, your email address, and requested your copy of the Heartstart 2025 guide. I sent you a confirmation email. You clicked on it, and that took you to a download page where you can access the PDF or the flipbook. Okay. In there, you also see the schedule of the 2 other videos that are part of this series. Today, as I mentioned during the introduction, we're going to be focusing on the year-end reflection. But then next week, Wednesday, December 25th, we'll be looking at doing a conscious release or conscious completion process, wrapping up the year. And then on Wednesday, January 1st, we'll wrap up the process by focusing on the vision for 2025 and aligning that vision with our deepest heart's desires. So if you click on the flipbook version, which is what we're going to be working with today, you'll be taken to a beautiful 3-dimensional version of this beautiful guide. Heartstart 2025, a year-end process for reflecting, releasing, and realigning with your heart's desires. And there you'll find a table of contents that, again, breaks the whole process down into the 3-part series that are in alignment with the 3 videos that I'm doing. And then there's an introduction section where I speak about the importance of understanding how people change. There's a nice welcoming message from yours truly. And then we dive straight right into this process of understanding how people change. Now, I'm going to spend just a few moments here before diving into the review part of this training, because it's very important that you understand that this guide brings together 2 very powerful perspectives on transformation. First, it brings the neurological levels that shape our human experience and the vibrational levels that influence our behaviors. By working with both dimensions simultaneously and harnessing the power of heart coherence, the power of your heart, you can create a deeper, more sustainable change. Insanity, as I was reminding you at the very beginning of the series, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. If you really want your 2025 to be different, you need to understand these 2 levels at which we human beings make change. All right, so I invite you to consider really this question and make a heart-centered choice right now. Will you enter 2025 as the same person, hoping for different results? Or will you commit to doing the deep work of transforming both who you are being and what you're doing, with a special focus on who you are being? So let's look at first the neurological levels of change. You have the power to make changes in your environment, your behaviors, your capabilities, your beliefs, and your identity. The higher the level at which you make these changes, the more likely you are to stick with those changes. All right, so the review questions that are part of this reflection guide and planning guide, you're going to notice we'll be asking you questions about the environment that you are in right now. What are some of those behaviors? The positive one, the ones that are negating your success. What capabilities may be missing, which are the ones that you developed during this year. What new beliefs do you need to cultivate? What beliefs do you have to let go of, especially limited beliefs? And more importantly, how you perceive yourself, your own definition of yourself. And notice that there, at the highest level, there's also something called the divine identity. All right, so at the environment level, you may make a change like going to the gym, all right, and stocking up with healthy foods, and you're now setting yourself up for success. At the behavioral level, you may start exercising regularly or cooking, enrolling in a gym. At the capabilities level, you learn the actual proper exercises and you develop new ways of cooking, new cooking skills. At the beliefs and values level, you begin to embrace new beliefs like I can get healthy, I can create vibrant health. You begin to embrace a mindset that supports the changes that you want to make in your life. And at the identity level, you may begin to see yourself as a healthy person, and may even affirm to yourself, I am healthy and I'm a vital being. Now, this higher identity level that I was referring to just a moment ago, all right, this goes beyond the human, and this is your divine identity. This is what some people may call your infinite potential. This is the level in which you can connect to the divinity within you. I oftentimes refer to this as your Christ self, your Buddha nature, your Atman presence, your higher self. I tell people, I don't care what you call it, as long as you align with it and begin to listen to its message for you. And so this is a part of you that connects you with the infinite potential for experiencing greater health and wholeness. All right, so it's very important, again, that you are aware of these different levels at which we make changes. And again, as I said just a few moments ago, the higher the level in which you make these changes, the more likely these changes are to stick. Okay, you can change your environment, but if you haven't changed your beliefs or your values, or you perceive yourself, you will find yourself recreating your previous lifestyle in the new house, in the new country, etc. You can start a new relationship, but if you're still afraid of intimacy or have a belief that you are not worthy of love, or you see yourself as unlovable, guess what's going to happen? You're going to basically recreate that exact same relationship. And so we're looking to affect a change in how you perceive yourself, right? That it's in greater alignment with your higher identity, which is how God perceives you. Next, it's also important that you are aware of the vibrational levels of change. The energetic frequency that emanates from your heart, which the Institute of Heart Math calls your heart signature. This has an incredibly powerful effect on how you create and experience your reality. This is the work of Dr. David Hawkins, his groundbreaking research on consciousness that gifted to the world this calibrated map of consciousness that helps us understand what is really happening at the vibrational levels. At lower levels of consciousness, such as shame, guilt, and fear, people often feel like victims, reacting to life rather than actively shaping their experiences. This mindset leads to a sense of powerlessness, where you blame other people for your lack of success. You see yourself as a victim. However, when you reach the level of 200, it signifies a critical shift where you begin to take responsibility for your life and move away from victim mentality to creator consciousness or owner consciousness, which begins to pave the pathway for personal growth and change. From that level, you move to a higher awareness towards neutrality and willingness, flexibility and growth mindset begin to emerge that allows you to see and uncover new opportunities. As you progress along these lines of awareness or levels of awareness, you move into acceptance and reason, all right, fostering a deeper understanding. And then as you begin to move into the level of love, which is the level of the heart, and further levels like joy and peace, you begin to feel like your manifestation becomes effortless. All right, a lot of people refer to this as instant manifestation. All right, you have a desire for something and suddenly you get a phone call or it just shows up. So just to quickly understand these levels in everyday life, let's say you're somebody who's been dreaming or wanting to for a very long time of starting your own business, but you have been at the level of fear. You've been operating at this level of 100. So at that level, you may avoid starting a business because you're afraid of failure. All right. Or you may then move to a level of 150, which is a level of anger. And at that place, you're angry at the world and feel it's a very unfair world. And you blame the economy or others for your financial situation. Once you move into the level of the courage, the level of 200, you begin to take responsibility and start learning about business. As you move into the 300s, arises the willingness now to try new, different pathways, to try to do things differently, to seek new opportunities, and to see every setback just as a feedback and learn from them. At the level of 350, you move into acceptance and you begin to work with circumstances rather than fighting them. And as you move higher and higher until the level of love, you begin to see your business, your practice, as a vehicle for being of service to others. And then because you're serving others and you're contributing towards the greater good, then suddenly the universe begins to support you. Okay. And so this is how the levels manifest. Now, the key here, which is the main reason why I'm mentioning these two models of how people change, is the heart. Research from the Hartman Institute has shown that your heart generates the largest electromagnetic field in the body. Therefore, your heart holds the key to naturally raising your vibrational frequency. And you do this by activating the power of coherence, which is why throughout this entire guide, every time there is a process of reflection, the process of aligning with your vision, the process of connecting with the desires of your heart, we're always going to activate this state of heart-brain coherence that expands your electromagnetic field, okay? And so what we want to do then is do this process as conscious and as present and as grounded in our hearts as we possibly can. The practices in this guide are designed to help you gradually raise your vibrational frequency while creating practical changes in your life, while you also make powerful choices about the coming year and who you are going to be in this next year, in this next stage that begins. All right, so let's dive right into this first part, which entails doing a year-end reflection, but not just a reflection, a conscious reflection, where you're really grounded into your heart and you're really receptive to everything, both the positive and the negative, everything that went on. Now, why is it important to reflect? And why did I say that this could possibly be the most transforming experience that will lead to your success? Well, because you cannot change what you cannot see, what you're not aware of. And so conscious reflection is therefore the foundation for meaningful transformation, because it brings awareness to all those patterns or all those behaviors, more often than not unconscious, which are keeping you from you having the success that you want. All right. So when you don't reflect regularly, you risk repeating these unconscious patterns. missing valuable lessons, overlooking areas that need attention, making the same choices that created your current reality. All right. And so by being more and more and more and more and more aware of the choices that you're making and that how it impacts your life, you're going to acknowledge and celebrate your progress. You're going to make the necessary changes to move closer and closer towards the success that you want. You're going to identify patterns that serve you and get rid of the ones that don't. Excuse me. You're going to be able to create closure where is needed. This is going to be the essence of what part 2 is going to be about. And you're going to be able to set authentic intentions that are aligned with your heart's desires. All right, so we are going to be engaging in a process that it's going to allow you to look at the 4 life dimensions. What are the 4 life dimensions that we're going to be reviewing and reflecting upon? Well, they are health and wellness, everything that relates to your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. We'll also be looking at career and success, everything that relates to work, finances, and creative self-expression. We'll also look at love and relationships. This includes family, friends, romantic partner, even co-workers. And then finally, we'll be looking at the area of spirituality and purpose. Where are you on this journey towards love, basically? Why are you here? And examining that, your connection to the greater universe or to the whole or to God. And so you're going to notice that we're going to be not only looking at these 4 areas of life, but we're also going to be looking at 4 key areas of reflection. We're going to be looking at the peak and the valley moments during the year. So celebrating your high points and successes, acknowledging your low points and challenges, gaining insights from both ends of the spectrum. Then the second area we're going to be looking at is growth and learning, recognizing how you've grown and evolved, identifying key lessons and takeaways, applying your learnings to create positive change. Then we're going to look at challenges and opportunities, examining obstacles that you face and how you responded, exploring the potential for growth within challenges, reframing setbacks as opportunities for transformation. And then finally, we're going to get very real and assess our current state and begin to focus on the future vision. So we're going to be assessing your current state honestly and compassionately, clarifying your vision for the future in each area, and begin to identify specific steps that are going to move you towards your vision. Okay, and this multifaceted reflection process is going to help you gain a comprehensive understanding of where you are right now, where you've been, what you've learned, and what is it that you want next. Now, the key, as I said at the very beginning, what makes all of this come together is activating heart coherence. So before beginning each section of this guide, it's important that you take a moment to activate your heart's coherence. And we do this by following the very simple 3 steps that, if you've been following my guided meditations, I always take you through. You place a hand over your heart, you center your attention in the heart center area. This simple touch begins to shift your awareness from your head to your heart. 2, you're going to begin to breathe in and out of the heart. You can begin by just 3 deep breaths, nice and slow, nice and deep, ensuring that the exhalation and the inhalation are about the same length. And then after you do that for a few moments, you're going to then recall a moment of gratitude or appreciation or love. You want to generate these heart-opening feelings. These heart-opening feelings is what changes the vibrational frequency of the heart. Your heart begins to vibrate at 0.1 hertz, which is the frequency of coherence. And then at that space, both right and left hemisphere of the brains begin to work together. All the systems come into greater alignment. And then suddenly, You begin to have access to greater intuition and wisdom. You begin to see the bigger picture of your life. And so from this place, I invite you then to state your intention, to be honest, to be compassionate, and to open to all the insights that will come as a result of this process. Maintaining your coherent state throughout all these reflection exercises. Now, if you want assistance, if you want me to guide you through this process, I have several guided meditations that are here on my channel that you can access. I have a 10-minute heart coherence meditation and a 20-minute heart coherence meditation. Recently, I released these guided meditations also with soft, gentle ocean waves. All right, so now you have more options. And so in the guide, I have links where you can click on them and we'll take you straight into the guided meditation. So you then go through the process of activating your heart coherence, and you get grounded in your heart. You begin to breathe in and out. You now move into the energy of gratitude and appreciation and compassion. And then from that space, you can now open the workbook and then begin to go through all the questions, being very present to each question that arises. So we'll go through the questions very quickly just to give you an idea as to the kind of questions that are included in the guide. So we begin with the area of health and well-being, and we begin with the peak and the valley. So what were your strongest, most vibrant moments of this year? When did you feel most alive and healthy? When did you feel most disconnected from your body, from your health, and from your well-being? What were the lowest points physically and emotionally? I was recently doing this with my students, and it was my turn to share. And for me, for sure, the lowest moment in this area was being very, very, very sick at the end of the summer, right after I came back from Portugal. I was really sick. I had not been that sick in a very, very, very long time. I think I was really just purging after a ceremony that I attended. Anyway, after that valley moment, my immune system became very strong, interestingly enough. So the second area, the area of health, in the health and wellness, is growth and learning. And so there's questions like, what new health practices or habits served you well? What did you learn about your well-being needs? What habits or patterns didn't serve your health? What important lessons emerged from the struggle? Then questions regarding challenges and opportunities. What health challenges did you face? How did these challenges affect other areas of life? What opportunities for growth did you see in these challenges? What new beliefs, habits, or environments would support your well-being in 2025? See, we're speaking about behaviors, habits, beliefs. We're looking at all these neurological levels of change. And then the last area is your current state or future vision. And in here, what I'm inviting you to do is just really to honestly assess yourself on a scale from 1 to 10. How would you rate your current level of satisfaction in this area of your life? And then once you score yourself there, ask yourself, what specific changes would move me 1 point higher in 2025? So right now, for example, I would say I'm at a 7 in this area. So in order for me to move from a 7 to an 8, I would need to deepen my commitment to my strength training. Yeah, to my strength training practices. Going to the gym basically more regularly. All right, so among other things. So what would that be for you? And then we're going to do the exact same thing for the area of career and success. Okay, over here in Peak and Valley moments, there are questions like, what were your proudest achievements? When did you feel most successful or creative? When did you feel most frustrated or stuck? What disappointments or setbacks did you face? Growth and learning. What new skills or capabilities did you develop? What professional lessons did you learn? What patterns or behaviors held you back? What opportunities did you miss or avoid? Challenges and opportunities. What obstacles did you overcome? What challenges remain unresolved? What opportunities could emerge from these challenges? What new beliefs, skills, habits, or environments would support your success in 2025? And then, just like we did in the previous section, on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate your current level of satisfaction in this area of life? And what specific changes would move you 1 point higher in 2025? So as you begin to see, as you begin to become present with each question, allow you this heart and mind in unity, communicating your feelings and your thoughts and your memories, you're going to notice that a lot of creativity begins to flow. In the area of love and relationships, in the peak and valley, we ask questions like, when did you feel most connected and loved? What relationships grew stronger? When did you feel most isolated or disconnected? Which relationships became strained or ended? This is something that not only in my personal life, but also I have a lot of clients who, the past year especially, a lot of their relationships came to an end. And this is one of the consequences I find of just growing. All right. As you grow, you're going to notice that you no longer feel connected or attracted to certain people. Growth and learning. How did you grow in your capacity to love and connect? What did you learn about relationships? What patterns in relationships challenge you? Where did you struggle to maintain your boundaries? What relationship challenges did you face? What remains incomplete or unsolved? What opportunities exist to deepen or to heal these relationships? What new beliefs, behaviors, or environments will strengthen your relationships in 2025? For me, as I'm just going through this guide, inevitably it's just what came up is the desire of spending more time in real, and so much of my work and my activities are online. I really want to spend more real time with real people that we can hug and see and hear each other. So more present, more in real time. Is one of the reasons why I decided to create the Heart Space here in Granada, which you're going to be hearing more about over the next few weeks. And then finally, in this area, once again, assessing yourself on a level from 1 to 10. And then once you come up with a number, asking yourself the magic question: what specific changes would move you 1 point higher in 2025? And then you're going to do exactly the same thing in the area of spirituality and purpose, right? Answering questions such as, when did you feel most aligned with your purpose? What moments brought deep meaning? When did you feel most disconnected from your purpose? For me, God and purpose mean exactly the same thing. So if you don't understand it in terms of the bigger reason why you're here, you could also just simply substitute and just ask yourself the question: when did I feel most aligned with God and the reason why God brought me here, or the reason why God created me? What caused you to question your path? How did your spiritual practice evolve? What did you know that was different about your spiritual practices? What insights about your purpose emerged? Where did you struggle in your spiritual practice? What doubts or questions arose? Just recently, by the way, somebody messaged me about some kind of a debate that had taken on online, where people were discussing whether if God was male or female and what the ancient texts in Christianity had to say about it. And apparently that has really shaken up a lot of people. And so anyway, so these are the kind of things that you could write down in here, or it could be simply the deep sense of being out of alignment with your own purpose, or having a job or a career that goes completely against your core values or your purpose. Continue with the questions. What spiritual challenges did you face? What remains incomplete or unresolved? What opportunities for spiritual growth do you see? And what new beliefs, practices, or environments would deepen your spiritual growth in 2025? And then once again, how would you score yourself right now on a scale from 1 to 10? How would you rate your current level of satisfaction with this area of life? And finally, what specific changes would move you 1 point higher in 2025? All right, so that concludes this first part of the guide. Now, for some of you, that is going to be already plenty. All right, just finding at least an hour and a half of time just for you. Uninterrupted time where you can connect with your heart and then just simply reflect back on the year. Now, there are some tips that I want to offer you as you prepare to do this process. I find that if you open up your calendar and if you look at your photos from the past year, as you begin to look back on the year, you can begin to immediately just recapture and remember all the experiences of the past year, the people that you met, the places that you visited, all the changes, right, that you began to make in your life. I mean, these days we're all living a digital footprint, whether we want to or not, with every email, with every WhatsApp message, with every photo that we take. And so I encourage you to, in preparation for this process, to go through your calendar, to go through your picture, to go through your messages, and then so that when you're answering these questions, like for example, like what relationships grew more intimate or closer, you can look at, wow, look at all this conversation with this person that I met, or look at, for example, like I have no messages this year from this person, so wow, I didn't connect with this person this year, etc. And none of it is neither good nor bad. All you're really doing is you're just simply remembering everything that happened during the year, right? So that you can draw out all the lessons, so that you could also get a sense of where you are right now. And this is the value of this exercise. Now, on the second part, we're going to be focusing on doing the conscious release process, or I like to sometimes refer to this as the conscious completion process. All right. We're going to find a place of gratitude, a place where we can appreciate everything that happened. We're going to reflect on that. We're going to be writing ourselves a love letter like we had never written a letter before. We're going to come up with a 2024 keyword that defines what the year was about, and then we're going to do a release ritual. Now, if you're the kind of person that you sat down and got all of this done in 30 minutes, an hour, and you're ready to move forward, well, in this guide, you have all the necessary information to continue to do this work on your own. But for the time being, we're going to stop here to give you plenty of time now to focus on yourself and then just reflect on the past 12 months and look at the peak and the valleys, look at the areas of growth and all the lessons and all the learnings, and look at the challenges and opportunities that those challenges contain, and then just simply get a feeling for where you are right now. Remembering that once again, that you cannot change anything that you're not aware of. So we begin by just creating or building the awareness muscle of what needs to change. And then the decision, the commitment to change will come as we start to move into the process of realigning with your heart's desires. Okay, you now have everything that you need to begin a conscious reflection process. So schedule uninterrupted time with yourself, create an environment that is conducive to reflecting, light up a candle, say a prayer, burn some incense, have a bottle of wine. I don't care. Just find a place that is just relaxing, creative, where you can just be alone with yourself for the next few moments and really deeply and consciously reflect on the past 12 months. So you can extract all the goodness so that when we resume this work next week, you can really move into the energy of appreciation for yourself. And then from that space, be able to consciously complete the past year. So enjoy the process. Be sure to download the guide if you haven't done that yet by going to heartstart.me. And I'll see you next week for part 2 of this process. Bye bye for now.